Alright, beautiful people, in this lesson we're going to solve power related series. Here are some of the problems that we're going to deal with. So let's start. Again, I want to mention that as I showed you earlier, one of the template of the series programs, if you recall that one, if you can understand that template, then you can solve any problems. And you can see that in the last few lessons, it's basically we're making small adjustment and we're solving all the series related problems, right? So let's start first type, where basically we'll deal with powers, and also we're going to find their additions. Okay, and then later on we'll see one program at least for the multiplication as well. So first of all, here if you see the numbers that we have 1 2 3, so all of their numbers, you need to always know the starting point, ending point, and their differences. That's all you need to know. And here basically we have 1 2 times 2 2 times, so whatever the value of I, we're basically using that twice. That's all we're doing here. Okay, let's continue. Then we'll see what we can do here. So first of all, we are going to take the user input from the user. So we are going to get the last number of the series as usual, and we are checking the validation whether the number is valid or not. Again, here we're using integer number, so it's better if we stick to the integer. So let me just go with the integer. And then what I'm going to do here, let's continue. If I'm using integer, for sure we need to use %d here to get the user input. So we are getting the last value from the user, and then this is the validation for now. Maybe we can keep it, there is nothing wrong with that, but in this case I'm going to use here %d. So let me use %d here. So this one is for starting point and ending point. Since we're not taking any ending point at this stage, so I'm going to comment this for now. Actually, we're not taking any starting point at this stage, so I'm going to comment that. But this is a validation that I can take. So we are looking for the positive numbers. So n value, the last value, should be positive or greater than 0. Okay. So in this case, we can comment this one, copy paste, and just keep a note here. And this one will change a bit. Here we're dealing with only n. So I'll keep that validation as well. And now let's come back here. We're dealing with integer number. All we need to know from where we're starting from 1. So let's go down below here, and I can copy and paste instead of coming again and again, so that we can focus just where we need to. Okay, so here let's make a comment and let's focus here. All right, first of all, let's go up. I want to make sure that I have sum instead of product, because we are not doing any multiplication, so the initial value of sum is going to be 0 here. And then here we can define from where we want to start. Again, we can keep this m for now because we're declaring that value statically. So our starting point is going to be 1. Here I'm going to keep 1. Each time the difference between each number, you can see 1, 2, then 3. So the difference is going to be 1. So I'll keep it as it is. Let's go down below. We have already defined the starting point. We have also defined the ending number, and also we have defined the differences as well. Okay. Then we are going to print the plus operator. So here I'm going to put plus operator, and then each number will be printed with the help of %d because we are printing integer number. Okay, so far so good. And then we are adding them up. That's why we need to use sum plus. But here is the catch. Here I'm going to define it like this: sum equals sum plus I, because we know that each time we need to add the numbers, right? So that's what we're basically doing here. So let's say at the beginning we'll have 1, then 2, then 3. We are adding them up together inside the sum variable. But here is the catch here. So let's say if the variable first value I is 1, we need to make it such a way that we are getting twice. Then when the value is 2, we need 2 2's here. We need 2 3's here. So each time the variable value I will be used twice as a power. So we can write it like this: I into I. So let's say when the variable value I will be 1, in this case, we have 1 into 1. When the variable value I will be 2, in this case, we're going to have 2 into 2. When the variable value I is 3, in this case, we're going to have 3 into 3, which is equivalent to 3 to the power 2. So this is what basically we need to do. We need to multiply it twice. That's all. And in the end, we're going to print out the sum. So here I'm going to use %d, and then let's print sum. That should be all for now. Let's run it. Let's see whether it does work. Here I'm going to compile and run. And it is asking for us to give the last value of the series. So I'll go at the top. Maybe I can give 4. So it will be 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square. And we can see that the output is okay. 4 square equals 16, 3 square equals 9, so 16 plus 9 will be 25, and then 2 square 4, 25 plus 4 will be 29, and finally with this one it will be 30. So everything looks perfect, only we don't see the output properly here. For that, let's go inside. We want to show it 1, to the power 1, something like that. So wherever we are printing each time here, we can show it like this. We can print it twice. So the variable I can be printed twice here, or maybe we can do it like this as well. Instead of %d, actually, we are going to show it like this. Okay. Now let me compile and run it one more time to show you that basically it's working the way I'm looking for. I'm going to clear it a bit so that the screen looks better. Here I'm going to run again, and this time I'm going to give 4. We can see that here 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square equal to 30. I can run it again just to test it out. Let's say this time I'm going to give 5, and there you go, it's working perfectly. Okay. Now you can adjust the program the way you want. You can make it cube as well. So for the cube, all you need to do, we need to say 1 into 1 into 1, or I into I into I exactly here. So this is something we can do as well. Okay. If it is 4 times, we can use I 4 times as well. Also, we could use power function here. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, forget about this. Let's move on to the next type, where basically we need to find the multiplication. And I know you can do this because in the last few lessons we already did this kind of things, right? So in this case, we're going to use product, let's say, and we'll start from 1, right? And then all the, only the changes that we need to do is here. Each time we'll be multiplying with them, right? So the product will be multiplied with this value of i's. And also we need to print a cross here. So I'm not going to do that, but maybe I will leave it to you. I will give you some time. You can try to solve it. If you cannot do it, no problem. We're going to do it together. All right, I think you already tried it. Let's do it together. No problem with that. So here I'm going to start with the product, and this time I'm going to give here 1. So let's go down below. And this time we are going to use product, only the change I need to do. And also here, I need to use product, and then finally here I'm going to use the multiplication. Okay, and maybe I can use parentheses here just to make it a little bit separate here. And now that I have parentheses here, so what I can do, I can use assignment operator as well. Okay, and finally let's print the product there. Also, if you want to print the cross for the multiplication symbol here, we can do that as well. So let me run it and let's see what will be the output this time. Here I'm going to run, and maybe the last number I want to give it 4. Okay, so we have 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square equal the result. So that should be all for now. And in the next lesson, we'll be dealing with a different kind of series. Okay.